If you go back hundreds of years and we track real estate, what you will see is that, generally speaking, the appreciation is due to the land, not the structure. And historically, the average gain on the land has been, let's call it 3%. Well, this makes a lot of sense when you think about supply and demand. Mother Nature ain't making any more supply of the land. But we keep building houses. Listen, they depreciate over time because they wear out. They don't necessarily sink into a hole, but they wear out. Another point, houses are bought with leverage. We know this. We know leverage has risks, upside and downside. Maybe you've noticed in recent years that jobs or employment is not always stable. Part-time employment, the gig economy, if you're familiar with that term. People who are in these situations, they know differently that work is not always stable and available. If that's the case, if you need to go where you can work, then a house is nothing more than a lasso that's tying you down. In fact, in the Great Recession of 2008, for way too many people, housing pulled people down, pulled the economy down, pulled interest rates down. There is a negative side to leverage. And then the third point here, and why the topic of real estate is becoming more and more important to retirees, is because the low rates, the low interest rates that we have today, that we are living through, penalize savers. Well, retirees, by definition, are savers. So let's talk about your big anchor and how to overcome today's, and I will argue, tomorrow's low rates as well. So the learning objectives. To re-examine home ownership during retirement. Can you afford to keep that big asset locked up? That's a question I want us to examine. If you were to stay, how might it go? If you remain in that home, what things might you need to be thinking about? Boldly, could your home become unwelcome to you? Right? It's not a house, it's a home. I don't know if you have to live there for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years before to convert to a home. I don't know. Home sweet home, the old adage. What if it becomes unwelcoming to you? We'll examine that.